In this video, I'm going to be ranking every single Kendrick Lamar song from worst to best. I'm gonna rank every single studio album track from Kendrick Lamar. So yes, I'm not gonna be including Overly Dedicated, I'm not going to be including the Black Panther soundtrack, and I am also not going to be including Untitled Unmastered, even though yes, I think it is great. It is basically throwaways from the Pimp A Butterfly, so I'm just going to be ranking his 5 main albums: Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, The Pimp A Butterfly, Damn, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I will rank every full-length track on those albums, excluding of interludes. However, I did include For Free and For Sale because they're really full-on songs, they're not interludes. Let's not waste too much time, let's get into it.
Concentrating on the way the eyeliner thickens.
No Makeup as the worst Kendrick Lamar song is definitely a pretty popular take. I don't really know anyone who likes this song, and I don't think it's actually that bad, but I don't like the chorus, and the whole thing is just kind of cringy. So yeah, that's gonna place it number 73. Not much of a song, and I kind of questioned if I should include it or not, but it will get on the list at number 72.
This girl, she a real hood girl.
I think this song is a little weird and maybe drags on for a bit too much, a bit too repetitive, but it's not too bad. And genuinely, from now on, we're getting into songs that I think are decent and that I don't mind. Yep, I really do think this man does not have any bad tracks. Chapter 6 is another semi-interlude track, but I still included it because I think it's a pretty good track, honestly. It's quite smooth. And we have the first appearance from Good Kid, Mad City with Compton, the outro of the album, and I'm probably going to get hate for this. I think sound-wise it doesn't fit too well into the album. I always skip it when I'm listening to the album, and it's gonna place at number 69.
Smoke good, eat good, live good.
Poor Man's Dreams would be lower than number 68 if GLC didn't have a feature. I think his feature is actually pretty good.
Look in my face and tell me don't worry about it.
I quite like the instrumental of Cushion Corinthians, and it's not a bad song, just nothing really stand out about it.
Cause you too are searching for answers. I'm not the next pop.
I really thought this song was gonna place higher when I was making this list because I do like this song and Absol is great on it, but this man just has too many good songs, okay? This doesn't mean that I don't like the song, I do. The only thing I really like about this song is the chorus, honestly. I know some people don't like it, but I do, but definitely not up to par with the rest of Good Kid, Mad City.
Good Kid, Mad City tour. I flourished on them stages.
This track is honestly a little all over the place, and I think it's a bit hectic, but I kind of like that about it. It's not a bad track at all.
Don't judge me, my mama caught me.
It's a good track and adds a lot to the narrative of Damn and to the story, but it does drag on a little bit. So yeah. I think this song really should have been better given the features on it. I mean, you have Ghostface Killah and Kendrick Lamar on the same track, but it did kind of let me down. Still a decent song though. And it's just a decent song. I feel like it doesn't really go anywhere. That kind of lets me down. Very all over the place song and chaotic, and I can smell the Baby Keem influence. Not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, you can definitely sense that Baby Keem had a big influence on this track and on the whole album, I'd say. And from now on, genuinely, we're getting into songs that I like and I don't have many complaints with. So don't get mad if I place a song that you like quite low. I probably still like it as well, okay? It's just too many good tracks to include on this list. Hood Politics is my least favorite track from To Pimp A Butterfly, but that doesn't really say much. I mean, that album is filled to the brim with amazing songs. I guess compared to the two interludes on To Pimp A Butterfly, if you can even call them interludes, For Sale is my lesser favorite, but I still quite like the atmosphere and the vibe of this track. Again, another track from Section 80 that I really wanted to place higher because I think his rapping is really good on here. I like the instrumental too, but I just can't. Too many tracks to include, too many amazing songs. It's gonna have to place in number 57. I don't really get Kodak's inclusion, but the chorus is so catchy. And we have another track right after it where I think the chorus is so catchy and the whole track is a vibe. Honestly, my favorite thing about Die Hard is probably the sample. I love that beat and sample so much. Another song that plays into the concept of Damn, the follow-up to Lust, which I think is great sequencing from Kendrick, but it just doesn't stack up to some of the other songs on that project, and it's going to place at number 53. Very energetic song. Baby Keem has a great performance on here, and I love some of the stuff that Kendrick talks about. One of the smoothest songs on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He has too many great songs, and I feel like this is one of the worst songs on the Pimp A Butterfly. But again, that doesn't mean much. This song is great. I see some people hating on Loyalty, and I don't get why. It fits so well into the album, and Rihanna has an amazing performance on this song. Probably the most overplayed Kendrick Lamar song, and honestly, that's why it's kind of lower down. It's still a great song, but it's so overplayed. The intro of Good Kid, Maad City comes in at number 47. Great storytelling from Kendrick on this track, and the skit at the end is actually really good too.
I really hope you play this, cause oh girl, you
Kind of funny how these two got on a song, eh? But it's a pretty good song. I like Kendrick's rapping on here. I like the instrumental a lot as well. Just a great intro.
You ain't got a lot to kick it, my nigga.
The more this track goes on, the more I like it. I feel like it's quite hypnotizing.
Fancy girls on Long Beach.
Great storytelling from Kendrick Lamar on here. Introduces the character of Keisha, which gets brought up a lot in his music. But yeah, this is definitely one of the better songs from Section 80.
Gotta go hard on the bitch, I'ma make it look.
Just a very high energy, catchy song, and that's what's gonna place at number 42. I don't know why Ronald Reagan era took so long to click for me, but it finally did, and now I love this song. It's such a hard track.
I love when you call me.
Count Me Out is a great opener to the second half of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and that's why it places at number 40. Oh, and I'd like to mention the music video is absolutely insane for this track. And this is a great conclusion to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where Kendrick kind of comes to the conclusion that he's going to focus on himself, he chooses him, he's sorry. This track also took some time to grow on me, but after the music video came out and I had re-listened to it a few times, yeah, this track is a banger. Backseat Freestyle was on my top 10 Kendrick Lamar Essentials track, and I do think it is an essential, but in terms of how good the track is, it will place at number 37. I still love it though. The main highlight of this track for me is gotta be the instrumental, especially the drums. And the highlight here is the drums as well for me. I mean, crazy hectic sounding track, it really did something for me. Good Kid is, I guess, a part of two tracks, Good Kid and then also Maad City. Maad City is the clearly better track, but Good Kid is still quite good. Again, another song that I debated whether to put on here or not, because it's kind of an interlude. It's not really a song, it's two people arguing over an instrumental, but it's so good. I love it so much. It's so funny to me, and it just has to place high up on this list. Great chorus on this song, great instrumental, and I love Snoop Dogg's feature as well.
Don't call me black no more.
One of the most underrated Kendrick Lamar songs in my opinion. Yeah is such a chill track, and Kendrick makes the whole nonchalant kinda singing, not really caring too much delivery sound so good on this track, especially on the chorus. From now on, we're getting into songs that are some of his best and that are amazing. If you said any of these songs is a 10 out of 10 and a perfect song, I may as well agree with you, and I don't see anything wrong with that. These Walls is definitely one of the smoothest Kendrick Lamar tracks, and I can see how some people may even have it higher on their list, but for me, it's gonna be a number 31.
Monty is a man now. I think I'm older.
This is somehow one of his most controversial tracks. I think people are really stupid. This is an amazing song, okay? And what he talks about here probably takes a lot of courage for him to talk about. Really interesting view on how America functions and what problems it really has and how people are misunderstanding the problems America has. And I really do like the beat switch, but the first half is elite. ADHD is one of my favorite songs from Section 80, so that's why it places so high up. Really smooth track. I love the chorus as well. Before I started making this list, I was not expecting this track to be this high up, but going back to it, re-listening to it, I realized just how hard Kendrick goes in on this instrumental and some of the stuff that he's saying and how meaningful it is, so it's going to place at number 27. Good Kid, Maad City may be Kendrick's prime when it comes to storytelling, but I don't know, this guy is just an insane storyteller. He's good on every album. This is a vibe for sure, and I also love the transition from Master Splinter's Daughter to this.
told me not to be so hard on myself.
Drake making fun of the story that Kendrick is telling here. First of all, he got the thing wrong that he was trying to get across. And second of all, it's really insensitive to make fun of something like that. Amazing track, amazing storytelling from Kendrick over a very sad instrumental. It's such a good track, and I really love the inclusion of the live version on the album. I think it goes a lot harder, so yeah. One of his most underrated tracks, for sure. I love the repetition aspects of this song. I love the structure of it, everything. I love it. At number 20, we have Rigor Mortis. Kendrick shows off his skills as an MC on here over a very lively instrumental, and that's why I like it so much. It really is one of the best songs on Section 80.
Feel like debating on who the greatest can stop it.
His rapping on here is some of his best ever, and this instrumental is very creepy sounding, honestly, but I love it so much.
Baby, you really think we can make a baby name Mercedes?
I don't know how you could call this an interlude. This track is so insane and hectic in terms of the instrumental, everything that's going on with the percussion and the jazzy elements of it. Kendrick Lamar's delivery, the girl that's featuring on it, their kind of argument, the story behind it, everything is so good, and that's why it's gonna place so high up on my list. A song with a deeper meaning that many people listening for the first time will not really look into it like that, which is why I love it so much. It's quite catchy too, and yeah, one of his earliest hits, really great track.
I need a license to kill. I'm standing on.
And at number 16, we have High Power, which is my favorite song from Section 80. What makes the song my favorite? Well, it is his rapping, one of his best performances ever that he has had. This beat switch is one of the best I have heard in hip-hop. I'm so serious. The first half is great, don't get me wrong, but the second half is some of the hardest rapping that Kendrick Lamar has done, ever. And that's why it's at number 15. Peak rapping from Kendrick on here, and one of the smoothest songs on the Pimp A Butterfly. I have not gotten tired of Alright. The more I listen to the song, it's just as good as it was for the first time that I've listened to it. It gets me so hyped up, it's so energetic, it's so uplifting. Perfect song for what it's meant to be. The story that Kendrick tells on how much a dollar costs places it very high on here. Very engaging track, and again, some of the best storytelling that Kendrick Lamar has done, ever. Pride comes in just outside of the top 10, and as much as I wanted to include it on the top 10, I couldn't, but it will make it at number 11. Such a psychedelic track, one of his most progressive songs. The plot twist and the end really gets you if you haven't heard this song before. I'm so happy for people who get to listen to Damn and this song specifically for the first time, because the plot twist and the storytelling is so good. Also, a lot of little instrumental changes in here that I love very much. One of his most popular tracks, but for a very good reason. This track is so chilled out, it's so smoked out, but it's perfect for what it's meant to do. And honestly, J-Rock may have his best verse ever that I have heard, at least, on this song.
Men down.
A classic track. This had to be in the top 10. One of the best beat switches in hip-hop. Great guest feature, great rapping from Kendrick, so much emotion, his delivery as well. Amazing. When this song came out, everyone went crazy, and honestly, the more it's been out, the more I love it. I think the main highlight of it is the instrumental. It's really well pieced together, and of course the topics that he talks about and his rapping is amazing as well. And I mean, if we want to talk about emotion, The Blacker the Berry is up there as well. Kendrick goes so hard on this track. He sounds so angry. He just comes in so aggressive on this track, and I love that so much. The beat also plays along with that. It's such a hard-hitting instrumental.
Fear missing out on you and me, I'm talking fear.
Getting into the top 5, we have my favorite song from Damn being Fear. I love how the verses are from 3 different time points. It serves one of the biggest purposes in the story of Damn. The second half is really meaningful to it, and yeah, I think this song is some of Kendrick Lamar's best rapping and writing that we have seen.
When shit hit the fan, is you still a fan?
And number 4, we have Mortal Man. Again, a song that plays great part into one of his albums, being the Pimp A Butterfly, connects the whole album together, makes sense of the poem that he tells throughout the project. And in terms of the song part of this song, it really is some of his best rapping and so emotional from him as well. You can tell by his voice, he comes in really aggressive.
Never liked you, forever despised you, I don't need you.
One of his most emotional tracks and really breaks himself down on here. I think that's the proper way to put it. It has a beat switch which is amazing. I realize Kendrick Lamar knows how to do a beat switch really well, but a very intense emotional experience listening to this song when you really look at it for how he's going at himself on here. It's really something.
From the CIA, set it on my lap, take a few.
And just missing out barely, very barely on the number 1 spot, we have my favorite song from Pimp A Butterfly and one of my favorite intros of all time, Wesley's Theory. It opens up the project so well. It has such a wide variety of sounds. Kendrick's rapping from different perspectives is so good as well. Really one of the best intros we have seen. Kendrick Lamar's best intro as well. And one of his best songs, but not quite number 1, because at number 1,
And I love you cause you love my brother like you did.
we have Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. And I'm sure a lot of you saw this coming, but you cannot put this song anywhere outside the top 5 in my opinion. It has to be, okay? It has to be. This song has made me cry. It's not the only Kendrick Lamar song that has made me cry, but this is one of them. It is over 10 minutes and somehow manages to stay consistent for those 12 minutes of runtime. The storytelling from different perspectives, one of Kendrick's best qualities. It's on another level here. The instrumental is iconic, very emotional, very dumbed down but smooth, and the drums are quite hard-hitting. Everything about this song is perfect. I could make a whole video on it. I could talk for an hour about it, but I'm not going to because we need to wrap this video up, okay? But yeah, that is my favorite Kendrick Lamar song. Let me know what you think I'm snubbed, what you think I praised too highly, what you think I placed correctly, and also feel free to let me know what will be in your guys' top 15, top 10, okay? Let's just share opinions down in the comments, and I'm going to be reading through every single one of them. Please make sure you like and subscribe. That will mean so much to me, as it help push my video and my channel into the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Peace.